Good morning, CLC. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. I hope everyone is looking forward to the week ahead. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting us come to you in your homes. Hopefully you're in your jammies and comfortable and relaxed. And I invite you now, if you are not, to take a moment to just settle in your seat. Put whatever worries and doubts you may have aside. Breathe in the cool, crisp air and breathe out all that no longer serves you. Relaxing your body, relaxing your mind. Let's do that again. I invite you to take a big, deep breath in. Hold it and breathe out. Putting everything aside and allow yourself to be here now. Universal love enfolds me. Universal wisdom inspires me. Universal spirit enlightens me. Universal power encircles me. I am one and all is well. As we begin this inner healing process, I invite you to relax in the quiet confidence, opening yourself up to the miracle-working higher power within. Now symbolize the unity of your thinking and feeling nature by touching your chest with your right hand, and let my words act as your own for your own inner acceptance and receptivity. I acknowledge that there is a power, intelligence, and wisdom greater than my own. I am in the midst of it, and it is in the midst of me, sensitive and responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling. I now make this true for myself by saying aloud, I acknowledge. Acknowledging the higher power working through my life, I admit that I am personally responsible for solving my own problems, while being guided and assisted by something greater than myself. As I am ready to surrender the conflicts of my own ego to the wisdom of the infinite presence, I simply speak these words, I surrender. I surrender. Knowing that forgiveness is the key to unconditional love and the feeling of heaven, I now unconditionally forgive anyone and everyone who has ever injured me in any way, real or imagined. And I now forgive myself for all my mistaken judgments and their resulting actions. From my deepest level of understanding, I now say, I forgive. I forgive. Realizing that I continually experience the effects of my own thinking, I now choose to allow this higher power to recreate me deeply, filling my mind with thoughts that are only constructive, positive, loving, and beautiful. I call upon this divine inflow by stating aloud, I choose. I choose. I now center upon that one special idea that I'm willing to accept as real for me in the coming week. Visualizing the idea as already acted upon and brought to pass. In seeing my idea become a fact of my experience, I enjoy the happiness and peace of my thought fulfilled and gratefully speak these words, I accept. I accept. Knowing that I have an everlasting place in the midst of the power that sustains all creation, as well as the support of all those around me. I I allow myself to relax in the peace of fulfillment and gratitude and say, I release. Now, in my mind's eye, I envision the presence of someone near and dear to me. This can be a family member, a friend, a teacher, or a mentor, someone who has touched my life in deep and loving ways. Someone who may not be physically present in the room with me this morning. And I turn toward that image in my mind's eye and say, I am grateful for the good in your life. Now I open my eyes and turn to the world around me and joyfully speak virtually, people present in the room, anyone around, near and far. I am grateful for the good in all of your lives.
Now here we are virtually. I am Jesse Jennings. This is a series on healing, and it's drawn in part from a book called Healing the Incurable by Frederick Bailes, who was a religious science minister in the first generation of those. He was a student of Ernest Holmes, and it's a collection of smaller pamphlets and booklets of his under one cover. The thing I want to impress on all of us today about healing, it's the last 2 weeks we're on Paradox out of Alan Watts, and the paradox is what we're perceiving in the world today and the pain that we're in. And all year, and going back to last fall really, I've been bringing up this point about there's a place where we can go where nothing has ever been wrong. There are a lot of different ways to say that, but it came to me that way. There's a place where we can go in consciousness where nothing has ever been wrong. And that is the place that we go when we treat, when we meditate, when we do our inner work. And we don't stay in that place. We bring part of that back with us into form and into condition here. That's the paradox of being a spiritual being, having a human experience. So we live, it looks like, in two worlds at once. Really, they are two sides of the same reality. There's spirit and there's spirit outpicturing. Okay? Spirit has an idea of itself, but it's not fully realized until it's cast into form. And so this world tumbles into form, and we tumble out into it. And here we are. And we're trying to find our way home the whole time we're here. And home is a place in consciousness. We stake out positions in this world and call them our home. We call them our identity, the places that we feel safe, or the places that we feel loved. And really what they all are, as wonderful as they are, is they're representations of the place from which we all came, which is the realm of spirit. Now that sounds on a daily basis kind of useless, doesn't it? It's lovely and all, but what are we going to do here with it? Well, if it were simply the place that we came from and we're forever, or at least in this lifetime, separated from it, then it would be useless. But through spiritual practice, this is the place that we go to. It's a place that all people go to, and it has nothing to do with the particular name of your spiritual practice or the name of the God that you interact with. All of that is just style, it's cultural, it's beautiful, it's interesting, but it's not different. There's one life. That life is our source. That life is all the life there is. That is the beginning of healing, the recognition of that one. Really, there are two steps, I think, to swinging into healing. One is to recognize that a healing ought to happen. There's a pain, there's a lack, there's an emptiness, there's a problem of some kind. Then you realize that a power greater than you are can restore you to wholeness. Some of you will be familiar with that phrase in a slightly different context. But a power greater than you are can restore you to wholeness. Healing is wholeness. Healing is becoming whole again. It's actually revealing the wholeness that we naturally are. And we see that we need this when we lack it. How do you know that you lack it? Well, you're in pain, you're in lack, you hurt, a loved one hurts, society hurts, and we say, well, I need to do something about this. What can I do? And we try usually various material remedies first. Without the spiritual insight, then we add the spiritual insight when we realize that the material strategies of their own selves aren't getting us where we need to be. they're just kind of moving things around. There may be a cure for a while, or things are being sent into remission, or there's sort of a Band-Aid on things. But eventually, we turn back into spirit, and we realize, you know what I need here? I need a power greater than I am. I need a power greater than my ego, greater than my opinions, greater than my own experience, greater than anything that I can find at ground level on this earth. I need a power greater than I am. We made all of this, a mind, a love intelligence that fashioned all this out of itself. That's what I need. And when I have a connection with that love intelligence, then it flows through me, and I become an agent of healing. I'm now enrolled in the process of healing myself or another by revealing the wholeness that was. So in a sense, by recognizing the pain that you might be in, you become aware of the existence of the peace that you might have, the comfort that you might have. You recognize it by its absence. We only know something is needed because it exists on some level, even if it's never been externalized. We recognize the thing from really day one. I think I'm one of these people who thinks that human nature is pretty wonderful. And not everybody agrees with that, but that's okay, because they're not agreeing with it is pretty wonderful. You know, it's all good. It's all good at the baseline. And some of it goes off the rails a little further in. You and I are all good at the baseline, in the crib, in the womb. And then some of our thinking may go off the rails down the road based on experiences that we have or that are shared with us. We become angry and bitter, and jaded and cynical, you know. We push people away, we become filled with hatred, some of us. But I think there are no irredeemably damaged people. I refuse to believe that. Somebody said the other day, this isn't political, because I don't know who said it, so it's not partisan anyway, but somebody said the other 10 to 15% of the people are really messed up. And I thought, first of all, how do you come up with that number? And in the second place, no, they're not. No. 10 to 15% of the people are behaving in however the way this person thought they shouldn't, but everybody is trying to do the best they can, knowing what they know, being who they are. Human nature is beautiful. It's not flawless, you know, but it's beautiful. What created it is flawless. What created it is perfect. What created it is whole. And the creator of us is available to us whenever we turn within. We go into the source. We say, remind me who I am. We go into the source and we say, this body I'm wearing. And you can have a very frank conversation with the source, by the way. You don't have to do it in Old English font, you know. Have it very, very direct. You say, look, see this body? You made this. You designed this. I had nothing or next to nothing to do with it. And it hurts. My knee hurts. My back hurts. My internal organs aren't functioning properly. You made it, you fix it. It's kind of like you broke it, you buy it. You know, you made it, you fix it. Too direct, too frank. You know what will happen next? Ideas will jump into your head for what you can do to support that process. Who to go see, if there's somebody to go see about it, what to eat, what not to eat, how to take better care of yourself, get more sleep, change your habits. Ideas will occur to you. That's how that healing can proceed. Meanwhile, while the ideas are occurring to you at the fundamental level, at the cellular level, stuff is knitting itself back together. Nutrients and enzymes, and I don't know a lot about anatomy, so I'm making this up, but the things that you have within you that know what to do are doing it. They're rushing to the spot where the healing needs to occur. And they're stitching stuff up. And if you say to the source, heal this relationship, source made that too. Made you, made the other party or parties. If you want to take it to the societal level, it made society, made all these. Where do you think that everybody came from? We're all from source. Even if the spaceship landed from Mars, we're all from source. We're all from the same one. And so, if I'm not getting along, or they're not getting along, they don't understand me, I don't understand them, or everything was going fine for a while and now it isn't. I choose to have wholeness revealed in this relationship. You know what will happen next is ideas will jump into your head for what to say, what not to say, how to proceed. Probably more than anything, how to listen. A lot of listening is needed right now in society. A lot of listening. Without agenda, without opinion. And suddenly, you won't be compelled to do these things, but if they're in alignment with what you say you really want, you'll do them. We always have a choice. I mean, people can like treat for a new job and then blow off the interview. You always have a choice. People can choose to be a star out on stage. We talk about this a lot with the musicians and actors and folks that perform on this stage, you know. I want in the cast. And then it's opening night, and you're like, and you're terrified, you know, suddenly, for some reason the car breaks down or whatever, you can't make it. You know, you always have a choice, you always have a choice to back out. And sometimes things occur that make it look like it's random or coincidental, that you changed your mind when in fact deep down inside you know how grateful you are that you didn't have to do the thing. That you didn't have to do the thing. Things change in form in strange ways when you participate with Spirit consciously, recognizing power greater than you are, yet right where you are. Power greater than you are, yet right where you are, right where everybody else is. And as we've talked about a whole lot, and I just got through like in 3 different classes this week going over this point with people, not because they're not getting it, but it's such an astounding point, is how can this thing be fully present at every point within itself? Because I can't do that, you can't do that individually, well, because it's infinite. And so as somebody, and we're pretty sure it wasn't St. Augustine, but we haven't, right, Lisa, but we haven't decided yet who it is, said that Spirit, God, the ultimate ground of all being, is a circle whose center is everywhere, whose circumference is nowhere. And the only thing that can pull that off is an infinite system. Well, now that we know that, what do? Well, I'm one of those points, and you're one of those points where this thing is fully centered. You have its full attention. You have its full participation. And so you invoke it, or I prefer the word evoke it. You evoke it. You pull it out from the abstract into the concrete, from the ephemeral into the actual, and apply it. Say right here in this body, right here in these relationships, right here in this empty wallet that I open it and a moth flies out. Right, you know, right here under the hood of my car. Right here where it's needed. That's healing. That's healing. And then what do? You keep doing that. Every day, regularly. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of a regular spiritual practice to facilitate things like healing and manifestation. I used this as an example yesterday in class, and it wasn't all that clear, so I thought about it overnight. And it's kind of like this. It's like if you go to somebody and you want something from them, and they don't know you, they're going to pull back a little. And they're, you know, Brian, tell me all about you. And Brian's like, well, I don't know you, man. I don't know that I feel safe talking about all about me. I'll give you my resume, or I'll, you know, say a few things. If I want to know all about Brian, what do I have to do? I have to be willing to share all of me, right? And it's got to take time. You can't just barge up to somebody and say, let's be best friends. You could maybe in 3rd grade, in the Jack White song, I love that song. You could when you're little kids, but usually it takes a cultivation of time, right? You spend time with the other, and you build mutual trust. I bring this up because this is the same relationship that we have with the subconscious mind, which is the place of our subjective connection to the infinite. It's the highway down which the infinite comes into form. We soften up the subconscious for the manifestation of particular good by going to it wanting nothing. Wanting nothing. Not with a whole long list of stuff, but just communion. In Scripture it says, look unto me. Look unto me. Isn't that great? It's talking about you're looking at your problems, you're looking at the past, the future, you're looking at miscellaneous stuff. Spirit says, look unto me. In your spiritual time, look unto this one. And go there and soften it up, build a relationship with it before you want anything from it. Not because it's going to withhold anything, not because it's going to act like a different person and say, wait a minute, I don't know who you are, get all kind of beady-eyed and stuff with you. No, it's because you're not going to trust it. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to feel it if you haven't felt it already. If you haven't built up a relationship where you know that there's a power greater than you are. And I promise you there's a power greater than you are. You know this. You didn't make yourself up. You didn't build this whole world. There's a power. Neither did any other human agency. Nobody invented trees, this kind of thing. I learned, by the way, a piece of trivia for cat lovers. I know there are several here. And in the class on, was it Friday? There were 4 people, 4 of the students on Zoom. Was it 4 or 5, Lisa, on Zoom, who all had cats walking across the screen?
4.
So no,
It
4.
was Wednesday.
Okay.
4.
Sir Isaac Newton, one of the most respected scientists who ever lived, the discoverer of the theory of gravity and so on, invented the cat door. Did you know that? He had it's a true story. He had a cat, thing wanted out, he was tired of getting up, so he cut a hole in the door and glued felt over it so the cat could come and go, and there you are. But he didn't patent it, so somebody else came along and it moved out of the Newton family. He was a single man actually his whole life, but it moved out of his realm. Well, he may have invented the cat door, but he didn't invent cats. So some mind was at work here that created all of this stuff. And you have faith that it exists, and you turn to it before you need anything from it. You believe that there's a power greater than you are. I also would suggest strongly that you believe it's a benevolent power. It's not a dual power. It's not a power that'll love you with one side of itself and smack you with the other. It is an entirely benevolent and kindly power that wants the best. It also has an automatic feature to it. We call it a presence that's loving and kindly and gracious and hospitable and all that. It has a principle to it which is absolutely automatic and crisp that you can use or misuse as you might, as any law, and acquaint yourself with this. And I think for today, we'll end with this. Start with something you can believe. I want world peace. I want world peace. I want everybody to get along. But I can't quite wrap my mind around that all the time in my prayer work. So how about if I'm peaceful? How about if I check my anger, my impulse to react? How about if I check it at the door? How about if I don't suppress it, but I understand it and I follow it to its roots? Who hurt me? Who hurt me? That when you cross my field of vision, you remind me of that. This is what I must do. See? And this is something I can work on. Start with something you can believe in. Believe in kindness. Believe in graciousness and goodness with the people around you. Believe that everybody's getting a fair shake. Because you're giving it to them. Because you are the one. In a sense, believe you have more power than you seem to. What if you ran the world? What if you ran the world? Feel like that for a few moments. Feel as though you could walk, if you say, fix this and change that. Are you doing that? Really? No. But it gives you a sense of confidence that a power's working through you to make a difference in the world. That you're more than just you and your needs, more than just you and your own process, you know? You're responsible for your relationships. You're responsible for all of these people that you see in the world. Now on Tuesday, there's going to be a funeral here in town for George Floyd. It's a time for all of us to get together, whether we're at the actual funeral, which I believe is it's full, I'm sure, at the church on South Hillcroft where it's occurring. And there's a viewing before it, which is open to the public, which many thousands will be at. Perhaps you'll go. But if your body doesn't go, send your soul. Send your soul there. Send your soul there to stand with his brother and his daughter. Send your soul there. Send your soul to the people who are hurting right now in the world. Right? Send a little bit of yourself. And imagine that you have that power. Imagine that it's making a difference. Imagine that they feel it. They don't know it's from you. You don't have to sign the thing. It's an anonymous soul sent. But they feel it. And a warmth comes over them and a strength comes over them. And I want to add to that a couple of people in this congregation who are ill right now. And in the story of illness, we're going to say they're very ill. They're very ill on a scale of degrees. And I want you to know the same strength and the same warmth for them. And I'm going to add to that one more group of people, which number I know for sure 3, and there may be more. And I apologize if there are, and I don't know your names, but I want to mention Kenzie and Katie and Bella, who are 3 young women of this congregation who yesterday graduated from high school. Malachi, thank you. Malachi, 4. Malachi, who shot up like a weed overnight. His voice dropped. I hadn't seen him over a summer. I hope he's watching. I hope his mother's watching. He makes him watch. He's like all embarrassed. But he comes back. He leaves for the summer and he's like, see you in the fall. He comes back, how you doing there? He's up here, All right, 4 of them. And I may have missed one of the Fears, Alina's grandsons, I think, maybe, is coming to me now. Anyhow, even if I don't know who you, I can't stall all morning trying to think of you and we're running out of bandwidth. So let me just say, God bless. And I know this isn't working out how you planned. You didn't get to go across the stage and get handed the proverbial sheepskin and have the prom and do all of the rites of passage. So we owe you. Spirit owes you. And it knows it does. We had to work some things out first in the culture. We had to get this virus thing out of the way first. We don't know why. We don't know why. But we do know that we're mighty to heal. We do know that we have the capacity to be healed in body, soul, and spirit. Keep the spirit strong. Next week, I'll pick up where I left off with some more of this, specifically on processes in healing, steps you can take in your mind. That's kind of what we covered today. On the final Sunday of the month, Reverend Arthur Johnson will speak. That's the 28th of June. And more will be coming shortly. Let's turn within now and just know there is one life, one power, one presence, pure spirit, everywhere radiant. Right now, today, in this part of the world, it is beaming down heat, is it not? Summer is here. Summer is here. Well, not actually for a couple of weeks, but hey, it's in the mid-90s today, so that counts. With summer comes the feeling of abundance and lush nature out there. You couldn't get any greener. There's been plenty of rain. Birds are happy, the frogs are happy, the crickets are happy, everything crawling across. Snakes too are happy. They play their part. In the midst of this lush and fertile summertime experience, it's so easy to feel the presence of this one life. And I speak my word into it now. For strength where strength is needed, comfort where comfort is called for, peace in the heart, conviction where there's outrage, passion, that a world coming together as one, asking change of itself, is able to manifest that change. That all people are respected and honored for being exactly who they are, as the individual expressions of the one life, majestic in form, beautiful in visage, powerful in spirit, and grateful at heart. Knowing this for myself, for those who are listening, and all beings everywhere, I offer my thanks for that one life I know as my mother, Father, God. And I release this word and call it done. And so it is. I'm now going to sing a song. Troy's going to accompany me. No, no. I want to introduce to you, not by a long shot, a newcomer to our stage, but it's his first time to perform with us since we went all virtual back in March. Beloved of us all, here performing his composition, What Color Am I?, as was performed before the Supreme Court of the United States, an award-winning song coming from a beautiful heart. Please welcome Troy McConnell.
Hey, thanks guys, appreciate it. Before I sing, I'd like to just say that I wrote this song over 25 years ago, about a time in American history over 100 to 150 years ago. And the fact that I still need to sing this song, I gotta tell you, it breaks my heart. It really does. I look forward to the day somebody says, hey, you know that song you used to sing that we don't need anymore? This is that song. I was born in Mississippi in a crowded one-room shack. I grew up picking cotton on the wrong side of the track. I remember Mama saying, son, don't ever lose your pride. Brother, can you tell me what color am I? I was born in Arizona, where I was free to roam on a crowded reservation that they said was my home. But an eagle has no spirit if he's not allowed to fly. Brother, can you tell me what color am I? What color am I on the inside, man? Can you tell what I feel by the shape of my skin? Just like you, I laugh and I cry. So brother, can you tell me what color am I? I was born south of Texas in a harsh and barren land. They said, give us all your weary, so I crossed the Rio Grande. But the fruits of my labor cost too much for me to buy. Brother, can you tell me what color am I? I was born in America, and in my heart there is a dream. We will one day live together as a nation at peace, like the story in the Bible about the lion and the lamb, where it finally doesn't matter what color I am. tell what I feel by the shade of my skin. Just like you, I laugh and I cry. So brother, can you tell me what color am I? Oh, just like you, I laugh and I cry. So brother, can you tell me what color am I? Thank you. Appreciate that.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. I am prosperous now, and so it is. Now.
Thank you. Because we have access to the internet here, I checked. It's Voltaire. The circle quote.
Oh, it's Voltaire?
It's Voltaire.
Good, yeah, that works.
So, trying to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, he was head up.
Okay. Well, now I'm vibrating from that rocking song. So I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to encourage y'all to take a nice deep breath. Just breathe it all the way down. Relax as you release the breath. Take one more nice deep breath. And as you breathe it out, know there is one light, one power, one presence, one love. And in that love, anything is possible. We talked about healing today. And there is a great deal of healing that is happening right now. And a great deal more healing to come. And I know that in that love, it is possible, as we are conscious of that connection with the intelligent divine, that intelligent love, as we are conscious of it, as we up our connection, we turn that connection to its widest, fullest flow, and allow that healing to flow through us. It is in our power to make this world a better place, just by making ourselves more conscious. As we make ourselves a better person, a more connected person, a more loving person, a more peaceful person, then the world will follow. And so I am grateful for this place. I am grateful for these people. I am grateful for Reverend Jesse. I'm grateful for every musician that you see and don't see over there, Jeffrey. And I'm grateful for Danielle, my partner in production. And I'm grateful for you, for watching, for hearing this message and carrying this message out into the world. And I'm grateful for all of our graduates as they set out to make this world a world that works for everyone. And so I know, I just know. And I release my word into law, knowing it is done. And so it is.
So it is.
Say it with me now, something wonderful is happening through me.
Something wonderful is happening through me.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my mind.
I feel it in my mind.
I feel it in everything I am.
I feel it in everything I am.
I choose it.
I choose it.
I trust it.
I trust it.
I use it.
I use it.
And I love it.
And I love
And
it.
so it is.
And
So it is.
All right.